Hello everyone and welcome back to another Batman Miniature Game 3rd Edition Battle Report, and Happy New Year as well. I think this is going to be the first video up after New Year's Day, or on New Year's Day, whatever, however you say it. And we're going to have a 350 rep today of the Batman Who Laughs team versus 350 rep of Organised Crime. So with that, everything said, let's take a look at the specifics for the teams and get started. So as the Grim Knight has not arrived yet, although it is on its way with the Two-Face stuff, so expect an unboxing of that hopefully later this week or more likely next week. We have just the standard Batman Who Laughs crew. The Commissioner isn't here, but there will be the opportunity to perhaps spawn him. So the crew is led by the Batman Who Laughs. He has the Damian Who Laughs, and then he has 4 Robins Who Laugh. The Batman Who Laughs is equipped with Darkness, and Robin has Hunter, and they do what you can see there, hopefully. We zoom in a little bit. Kind of, if it goes in focus. There you go. Oh, and of course, got to remember that their objective deck is a mixture of neutral cards, Batman cards, and Joker cards. And here is the 350 rep of Organised Crime with a very annoying dog hair right there that I'm going to have to remove or it'll drive me mad. So the crew is being led by the Ventriloquist, Arnold Wesker or Albert. I always remember, or I always get it wrong. I always say the one from the Resident Evil games and not the one it is. It's Albert Wesker in the video game, so this must be Arnold Wesker. Right? Hopefully. And Scarface, the puppet, which is more important. His sidekick is going to be Reaper, Free Agent, Killer Croc right back there, and then 3 hired goons from left to right, the Tailor, Iceman, and Showtime, I think. Yes. So we'll be back with everything deployed. We're just going to do the 8 inches deployment on either side again. And yeah, we'll see how they deploy, including, I think Killer Croc might appear next to Surgrating. We shall see. So both crews are set up and the battle is ready to commence. Organised Crime are on your left and the Batman Who Laughs team is on your right. Forgot to mention, but obviously the Organised Crew team is just using a neutral objective deck, which we'll cover more as they score. If they score, of course they will, hopefully. But here we have where Audacity is and where everyone is deployed. Killer Croc can start the game in base-to-base with a Surgrating, so that's why he is there. And then the Ventriloquist and the Tailor are up there. And then the Batman Who Laughs team mostly clumped together because they all benefit from being near the Batman Who Laughs. And some of the Robins here have Audacity, he has Audacity, and Damian Who Laughs also has Audacity as well. There is no objective cards being played in Phase 1 or Phase 2 of Battle Round 1, so we are jumping straight into the first activation for Organised Crime. So perhaps appropriately, it was Showtime that got things started for Organised Crime. He started with Audacity, he did a move action up to where you can see he has cover from the fence there, he's barely poking round, and he manipulated it to put down a suspect marker, which is more, they were right up to the line, so that's more than 2 inches out, so it's a legal placement, and that's all he did. Over to the Batman Who Laughs team for their first activation. The Robin Who Laughs, who is to the right of the Batman Who Laughs, activated first. He did not have Audacity, but he had a free manipulate because he started so close to his boss. He moves 12, they all move 12, they're super fast. He shot up the corner here, basically doing exactly what Showtime did, so it's just, well actually it should be against the building there. So it's 2 inches out from their deployment line, he placed a suspect marker, and of course, why wouldn't you include these in the deck? It became a snitch. It's incredibly unlikely any enemy is going to get within 4 of it, but hey, stranger things have happened. I guess Killer Croc could maybe burn his move through a grating and keep going, maybe? It's denying 3 points if he does it, assuming it's possible. I guess we'll see. Oh, actually, you know what? I just saw that there is a way to do it. Because, well, it depends whether or not you count vertical height. In Crisis Protocol you wouldn't, but in this you do. Someone could take a Surgrating to be up there, and that's technically within 4 as the crow flies, but I don't think it's within 4, like, if you went doop doop. Interesting. We'll see what happens either way, but the snitch is... It's so shiny. The snitch is in play. Come on, focus. There we go. The snitch is in play for this round. The Tailor activated next for Organised Crime, and looking into the Surgrating on the roof of the building there, anyone normal just popping out there, even if he went diagonally, is still not 4 inches. Killer Croc would only be the one that could potentially do it because he can keep moving when he comes out of Surgrating to get to the very edge, but even then the building is taller than 4 inches, so that doesn't seem possible. So either way, the Tailor activated He did not have Audacity, so he just did a movement action, but he started within 8 of the Ventriloquist, so he had the Inspire, and he used that to put down a suspect marker right there where you can see it, and that's all he did. The Batman Who Laughs jumped into activation early, and he moved forwards, he had Audacity, to where you can see him, so he is slightly covered by the fence there, just in case any pot shots come at him from the dark, and then he shot his gun, which is just a blood stun gun, at Killer Croc. He moved those, obviously was suffering the penalty. He got one hit through though, for 1 blood, 1 stun, and the secret to taking Killer Croc out in 3rd edition is definitely stun damage, because he is tanky when it comes to endurance, but his willpower is 7, which is kind of bad. Same for Solomon Grundy if you ever see him in 3rd edition, which you wouldn't a lot of the time because of his willpower being so bad. Either way, Killer Croc, 1 blood, 1 stun. He then tried to do a special action to goad, to make Killer Croc come closer to him so some of the Robins can start piling on him, and he actually won the opposed willpower test, so he did not move. The Ventriloquist, Arnold Wesker, I checked, went next with Audacity, but there wasn't much he can do. He's very slow, so it wasn't a great starting position for him. He came round here, he went there. He's, well, old stat card, he's movement 2, which translates into 8 inches. So he's there, he's staying kind of close to a tailor because the tailor's acting as his bodyguard, and didn't do anything else with his turn. The other Robin Who Laughs that started next to the Batman Who Laughs activated next, still close enough to get the Inspire to give him a free manipulate. He did a move much less than required of his 13 inches in total to hide behind the dumpster there. He is illuminated, but hopefully no one can draw a line of sight to him. He placed down a suspect marker, didn't do anything with it, didn't score anything. That's mostly just denial, because knowing that the organised crime is using the neutral cards, there's going to be cards in there that want them to have the most suspect markers. So it's just a defensive play. Reaper was next up without Audacity, but close enough thanks to the Ventriloquist moving that he did get the free manipulate. He just did a move right up to the wall here, and he did a reveal on his own suspect marker so that it could be played as a valuable commodities. A potential 3-point scoring card, if it gets into focus. Reveal one of your own suspect markers and replace it with a loot marker. The model that reveals the suspect marker receives the loot automatically. If a model with a loot marker becomes KO or moved as a casualty, it's placed in contact. A model making a move action that contacts it picks it up. If at the end of the game the loot marker is carried by a friendly model, you score the card, and you can't play after the 3rd round, obviously. So that is a potential 3 victory points, but that's long-term goal. That is now in play for the rest of the game. Loot marker here, I'm not even sure if this is the right one you're supposed to use for the loot, but using that marker, Reaper is carrying it. He doesn't need to be the one holding it at the end of the game for organised crime. It can be any of them as long as it's not the opposition. Another of the Robins Who Laugh activated. I can't even tell them apart by numbers because they're all literally just called Robin Who Laughs on their cards. But he was one of the 2 that was standing under this crane. He had Audacity. He moved over here next to his boss. He placed down a suspect marker as well, out of the range required for our same side placements, and obviously outside of deployment as well, and then that's all he did. So now it's over to either Killer Croc or Showtime, I think his name is, to end the turn off. Well, both of them have to go, but obviously one of them are going as we head towards the end of Battle Round 1. Sorry, it was not Showtime. Showtime is the one that's painted like Agent 47. This is Iceman, and he didn't want to waste any of his ammo, but he didn't want to be so close that he could get engaged next round, so he did a move with Audacity, but just kind of shimmied sideways and back ever so slightly. That's so a 13-inch move from him can't reach him, just so that kind of like he's got a firing arc right down there. So we'll see if that pays off. Let's see, who hasn't gone? There's one more Robin that hasn't gone, and Damien for the other side. So it was the Robin Who Laughs that was underneath the crane there. He went round it in like an N shape with more than enough movement thanks to being, again, very, very quick. Stopped there, he had Audacity, he placed a suspect marker very close to the edge of the table, and that's it. So now Killer Croc's been putting off his turn for the whole first round. He has to go now, and then it's back over to Damien to end off the turn proper. And so, using a combination of Amphibious and Lord of the Sewer, Killer Croc activated. One means that he, well, once per game you can go through a sewer grating and keep moving. That's Lord of the Sewer, part of that role. And Amphibious means he doesn't have to manipulate to enter a sewer grating, so it doesn't use up one of his actions. He had Audacity as well. So he entered the sewer grating, popped out, and then carried on moving, so he's used up his once per game. And he went after one of the Robins, hoping for an easy bit of food to chew on. But the Robins Who Laugh are pretty evasive. They're all defense 4. He attacked with his claws. He also activated Power Strike for his special action, which just means you do an automatic knockdown, and he got it, so there was a knockdown. Only one hit got through though for 1 blood, 1 stun, which is not that great, and now he's obviously in a spot of bother surrounded by a lot of enemies. He is tanky, but he's easy to knock out. So we'll see what happens as we go over to the Damien Who Laughs to end off Battle Round 1. So perhaps unsurprisingly, the Damien Who Laughs just went after Killer Croc. Now he has some interesting roles. He has the Hunter upgrade, which means if he goes after an activated model, he gets +1 to his attack dice rolls. He also has Death Pack, which all the Robin Who Laughs have as well, and that means if you engage someone who's already engaged with a friendly model, which Killer Croc is, you also get +1 to your attack rolls, and presumably those two stack. And Killer Croc's defense is only 3, but obviously you can't get a 1+, because that's not fair, it has to be a minimum of 2+. But still, it meant that he wasn't rolling that badly for his attack rolls. The strength die didn't get through. His basic attacks did very well though. 4 of them got through, yes, I was going to say 3, but no, 4 of them got through. His claws are the same as Killer Croc, so 1 blood, 1 stun for each, equaling 4 blood, 4 stun, and I think that puts Killer Croc at 5 stun in total. They're just going to go back down by 1 now because we're at the end of the round. So he's close to getting knocked out. He's still got plenty of health because he has 14 health. But yeah, that was a potent attack. So at the end of the first battle round, the snitch rather, card has scored for 3 for the Batman Who Laughs crew. The loot is still in play because it doesn't score until the end of the game. I don't know why this is suddenly having such a problem with focusing on cards. There we go. So that's scored for 3 in the bag. There is no end of round other objective cards that are being played, so we're just going to jump straight into battle round 2, see if any cards are being played at the start of that turn, and it will be the Batman Who Laughs crew going first this time. So here is the setup for battle round 2. However, a very quick retcon, totally forgot at the end of the previous turn after the Damien Who Laughs turn happened. Corrupted should have been played as a resource, not as an objective, as a resource, which will hopefully be in focus soon. A model damaged by an attacker that is within 8 inches of a friendly, the Batman Who Laughs model, suffers the poison effect. So Killer Croc is also poisoned, however, to make up for forgetting to play it at the correct time. I'm not going to do a check on him for the end of turn 1, but will going forward. So he is poisoned, but there is no objective cards being played. You can see who has Audacity here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then for Organised Crime it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And that covers everything. So on to the first activation for the Batman Who Laughs crew. So the Batman Who Laughs was obviously the first one to activate for the team of the same name, and I'm sure his actions are expected as well. He moved into base to base with Killer Croc, and I take back everything I said about Killer Croc being tanky. Now it does help that the Batman Who Laughs has Blood Scent, so if he's hitting someone who already has at least 1 blood on him, he's getting +1 to attack dice rolls and +1 to his strength die, although that got countered by Killer Croc having tough skin. Either way, he did 10 blood, which would not be enough to kill him if he was at full health, but with the damage he already had from Damien, that is enough to take him out. He has 12 HP, I believe, and that's 14 in total blood damage he had. I think it's Grundy that has 14 health. And that also scores a Joker crew card, Seasoning the Mix. A model with the poison effect is removed as a casualty. When this happens, both players discard a card at random from their hand. Again, I don't know why the cards have suddenly had such trouble. Maybe I should hold them like I do, and yeah, okay, that kind of, well, no, that doesn't seem to make any difference at all. It doesn't like the cards for whatever reason. The cards specifically from this game. Either way, that is 2 victory points, and Killer Croc, well, where he's going, he's no longer poisoned. Let's look at it like that. Showtime activated with Audacity. He came around the corner, he moved up 8 inches to where you can see, and he had a clear line of shot at this Robin Who Laughs. He shot at him with his pistol. Now he does have multi-fire, but multi-fire in 3rd edition is 2 extra dice, but you can't move, so you had to move and shoot, so he lost 2. And he only got 1 hit through for 1 blood, 1 stun. The Robin Who Laughs, who had been knocked over by Killer Croc, stood up, so he was suffering impaired movement, but he had more than enough just to sneak around the corner here and attack Showtime. And Showtime did fantastically with his defense rolls. He needed to block 3 hits, the strength die didn't get through either, and he rolled 3 4+. He just shrugged it off. It's almost as if he is actually Agent 47. Iceman activated and he stayed still. He had no Audacity. He shot within 12 inches barely at the Robin who just attacked there, and he got 2 hits through for 3 blood each with his assault rifle, so that is 6 blood They have 4 HP, so that is a Robin Who Laughs out. Oh, and just in case you're curious, nothing happened when Killer Croc died within range of the Batman Who Laughs, because it has to be a sidekick or a leader to bring on the Commissioner. Otherwise, it's just a Robin Who Laughs. Had he died to the Batman Who Laughs after that just happened, that Robin could have came back immediately, but out of order, so can't. And also, it has put organised crime on the scoreboard by scoring Catch a Bullet, inflict at least 6 damage of any type with a single ranged attack, which he did as blood damage. The Robin Who Laughs, who had been down here after turn 1, activated with Audacity. More than enough movement to come around the corner, take another crack at Showtime. He did much better with his teeth and claws for 1 blood, 1 stun each. 4 hits got through, 4 blood, 4 stun to poor Showtime. He only has 4 endurance, so he is blah. He is gone. Didn't score any objective cards from doing that, but did remove a threat. Before we cover next activation, forgot, of course, casualty that just left the table was 27 rep. That means he's more than 25, or well, 25 or more. So, the Robin Who Laughs that died, congratulations, he's back on the field. Now, the rule for He Freed Me, or the team rule that brings back people like this when you kill henchmen of a certain value, or sidekicks, etc., it doesn't specify whether or not they count as having gone or not, so I'm just going to go by he had already had his turn, therefore the person he turned into should already have had his turn. That seems fairest, but it is not clear. So anyway, we come around this side of the table. It was the tailor who activated close enough to the ventriloquist that he had free inspired manipulate, so he moved, and minimum distance between these two, more or less, he put down another suspect marker. Simple activation for the Robin Who Laughs who's hiding in that corner. He's carrying on hiding. He did not have Audacity, so all he did was manipulate to place down another suspect marker, which has become another snitch in play for this round. So due to a shake-up in the organised crime hierarchy, in other words, many of them are dying, they're changing tact and are deciding to avoid the gaggle of Robins that are coming after them. Reaper activated, he placed down a suspect marker on the opposite side of the one he revealed, and then he fled round the corner here. Remember, he is holding the loot though, so he has a reason to want to keep away from the more dangerous assets on the other team. Back over to them. The Robin Who Laughs, who had been hiding behind this dumpster, activated with Audacity. He sped around all the way down here. He placed a suspect marker, except it is not a suspect marker, it is a stinky fish. A Joker card obviously being played, so it's now a stinky fish. If someone reveals it on the enemy team, although I don't think any of them can get to it, they would be poisoned. So this is most likely going to score at the end of the round for 2 points. The Ventriloquist activated, he moved ever so slightly forward so he was within 12, and he opened fire on the Robin Who Laughs that just moved into position. As you can see, only 1 hit got through for 1 blood, 1 stun. There's way too many blood stun guns in this organised crime setup, not nearly enough double or triple blood to make it useful. But it would have been more, but all the Robins Who Laugh are small, which gives them benefits of cover even if they're not in cover. I have been remembering that. I can't remember if I forgot, if I remembered rather to mention it on camera, but it has been getting remembered that they are all small. So that's his turn, and now it is over to, I think, just the Damien Who Laughs to end off the turn for that crew, and that might be it because everyone else is dead. So the Damien Who Laughs decided to move with Audacity. He came all the way around the corner and he was able to get into base-to-base contact with the tailor down there, which is not in focus because it's focusing on the corner. There we go. He struck at him, 2 hits got through, all said and done. The tailor did very well with his defense rolls there. He could not use any efforts to make them better, although against blood stun you don't really want to, but he has sneak attack and he couldn't see him at the start of the activation. So either way, 2 hits got through for 1 blood, 1 stun each. And that does take us to the end of the round, which means everybody's healing 1 stun that has 1 stun. And if we come back over here, that is a big scoring round for the Batman Who Laughs crew, because the Snitch and the Stinky Fish both score. So we are straight into the penultimate battle round 3. Again, everyone has healed 1 stun. There was no stage 4 objective cards being played. But as we go into this battle round, there are objective cards being played in Phase 1 and Phase 2 for both sides. Organised Crime, all of whom have Audacity, because that's 4 of them left alive, are playing Die Hard on Reaper, making him doubly important because he is still holding the loot, so if he lives to the end of the turn, that's 2 victory points in the bag. And then for the Batman Who Laughs crew, Let's Dance is being played. Friendly model with leader, sidekick, or free agent rank suffers damage. That just means if the Batman Who Laughs suffers damage this turn, it scores. Not likely because he's right at the back, but it does mean you can kind of blindly charge in, because if he even gets touched, he's scoring points. So there's that. This Robin is the only one... Oh, sorry, no. And that Robin over there, whose marker I've forgotten to remove. They are not getting Audacity. Everyone else does have it. It's the Batman Who Laughs crew going first, so let's jump in. Late in the video, saw a cameo. She's just staring. Anyway, the Robin Who Laughs that was over here activated first with Audacity to try and take out the ability to shoot. Did that at least by getting into base to base. Attack roll was bad, defense roll was great. And Organised Crime has been getting some really good defense rolls this match. And as a result, no damage done. But he is in base to base, so his assault rifle won't fire. He is open to being shot in the back, however. So Iceman activated with Audacity, opted not to punch because it's not worth punching, nor is it really worth moving and shooting with that assault rifle, so he retreated over here and instead placed a suspect marker, trying to play the objectives towards the end of the game here to make back some ground. Back over to the Batman Who Laughs team. The man himself, the Batman Who Laughs, activated. He came around the corner. He could not get into base to base, he couldn't move far enough, so he stopped where he was. He fired his last remaining ammunition for his pistol into the tailor. One hit got through thanks to Bulletproof Vest, making things even more difficult. For 1 blood, 1 stun, and he's still standing. The Ventriloquist activated, stayed where he was first, and then shot his Tommy gun, well, I guess Scarface shot his Tommy gun, into the Robin Who Laughs over here. 3 hits got through for 3 blood, 3 stun. He had 1 blood on him, so he is dead, and in turn that scored a dirty job for making any model KO, although he might make a return given how they work, depending on who goes down next. He then did a move action to retreat over there with the rest of his crew, kind of consolidating position in the middle of that kind of lane. The Damien Who Laughs activated. He attacked the tailor and rolled appallingly. Only the strength die got through for 1 blood, 1 stun. However, that was enough to play as a resource, not as an objective. Another corrupted, so a model within 8 of the Batman Who Laughs, which the tailor now is. So he's going to suffer the poison effect. We'll get it on him in a second, but that doesn't score. That's now discarded. Then, after doing that, he did a movement action to get into base to base with the Ventriloquist to stop him escaping. We're sticking over here as the tailor activated. He fled from the ongoing problems there because he only has 1 HP left, and he placed a suspect marker over there. So now it's over to one of 3 Robins Who Laugh that haven't activated this turn yet, and then back over to Reaper to end off the turn for Organised Crime. So it was the Robin that got spawned from Showtime. Dying, he moved with Audacity into Iceman, attacked him, and did 3 blood, 3 stun because he doesn't do double blood, which is not enough to take him out because he's a 4-4, so he's alive on 1. It is enough, however, to score a They Must Know Pain, inflict at least 6 damage of any type. Well, it does say type and not type, so I'm actually not sure if that counts or not, because it's 3 blood and 3 stun rather than 6 of one or 6 of the other. But it does say of any type, so maybe that does imply mixing. We'll see if it matters when it comes to scoring. As of yet, it won't. So given that he's currently worth 5 victory points, Reaper decided to Scarper and has fled around the corner here, did nothing else with his turn. So now it's over to that Robin and the one up on the corner there to do whatever they like to take us to the end of the penultimate round. We might cover them both together unless any of them do anything in particular. Neither of them have Audacity though, so that's unlikely. So it's simple enough, final 2 activations. The Robin that was there has just tried to cut off Reaper at the pass, and the one that's up there has gone down the street to there just to help with the ensuing disaster that's happening over there. So now we'll see if anything is scoring in the end phase of Battle Round 3. However, Die Hard has scored for Organised Crime because Reaper survived the turn, and Let's Dance has not scored for the Batman Who Laughs crew because he didn't take any damage. So in the end phase, there is 1 objective card being played. Stick to the plan for Organised Crime. You must have more suspect markers in play than your opponent, which they do by 1, 2, 3, and then they have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 there as well. So with that, we are going into the final battle round. We'll see if any cards are being played in phase 1. It will be the Batman Who Laughs crew going first again, thanks to a good roll. So as we start the final battle round and everybody clambers for last minute points, there's 1 card being played. The Batman Who Laughs crew is playing their Die Hard, and it can't be played on the boss, so it is being played on that Robin. That Robin right there is now worth 2 victory points if he gets killed before the end of the final round. So the Robin, who has a price on his head now activated, he attacked poor Iceman, 3 hits through for 3 blood, 3 stun, much more than was required to equal his demise and his removal, and because he is worth 26 rep, bloop, a Robin Who Laughs has replaced him, and because he hadn't used his Audacity yet, I guess that means he has it as well. Giving him Audacity seems a bit... No, he'll have an activation because he hadn't gone yet, but he doesn't get Audacity. Let's go with that. Again, the rule is not clear. Reaper activated and with Audacity, and moved himself to relative safety on the other side of the Robin Who Laughs that cut him off. Went at him with his combo sickles and did very, very well. 5 hits through for 5 blood, 5 stun, which takes out that Robin. So that Robin is gone, and also, because it counted for the other side, it's going to count for them as well. They must no pain, inflict at least 6 damage. So either way it balances out now, if it has to be the same damage type combined. Either way, that Robin is gone, and that is scored. The Damien Who Laughs activated next and took some claw attacks at the Ventriloquist and rolled very, very badly against another very good defense roll. He was not able to hurt him, and he also had some extra defensive stuff that he didn't even need to use. So he didn't opt to do anything else. He opted to stay in base to base so that the Tommy gun can't fire without moving away first. So now it's over to either the Ventriloquist or the Tailor, and then is that it? Is that all they've got left? It is. Alright, it's a bit hard to get a view of, but the Tailor activated, continued to flee because he's so close to death, and placed down a suspect marker where you can see it over there. So now either the Batman Who Laughs or one of his few Robins that haven't activated and get to go next. The Batman Who Laughs activated, he charged down the street into base to base with the Ventriloquist, and he did a casual 8 damage. More than enough. He only has 6 HP, the leader is down. Reaper is going to be nominated as the de facto leader now, not that it matters because we're near the end of the game, but it does also mean that Back to Arkham has scored the Bruce Wayne card, because the Batman Who Laughs is Bruce Wayne. Make the opponent's boss KO or remove it as a casualty. 3 victory points scored there in a card that once again struggles to get into focus. There we go. So now that the Ventriloquist is dead, there's no one left to activate. It just comes down to that Robin or that Robin without Audacity, and I think that might be it. So we'll see if they can do anything that scores victory points, and then the game is over. Alright, there is only one play to activate that will do anything to change the score as is. This Robin Who Laughs is placing a suspect marker. It'll be a stinky fish, rather than just look it out, just saying that's what he's done because the game is over. So that means this stinky fish is scoring for the Batman Who Laughs crew, and it does also mean that their diehard has scored because that Robin that had him there also survived. But that does also mean as well that because Reaper held on to the loot for the entire game, that valuable commodities has scored for them. So with that, we'll see the final scores. So we have our 2 decks here. On the left is the Batman Who Laughs crew. Let's see what they got. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 plays 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A tough one for organised crime there. I think they suffered a lot for having a bunch of blood stun guns rather than double blood or triple blood. That definitely hurt. The Batman Who Laughs crew has access to a bunch of easy to score high value cards. The snitches, the fish, poisoning if you're near the Batman Who Laughs. And the crew didn't have enough oomph to take out the Batman Who Laughs, because if you take him out, the crew falls apart instantly. Everything relies on him, which is very fitting and in character. And Reaper being the one carrying the loot is what secured it, more or less. I mean, he couldn't get in there. He can kill the Robins easily with his comboing and his sickles and what have you. And he had to just play runaround, which probably was a mistake. But if it was given to anybody else, they probably would have died and it would have been lost. So either way, as I think I said at the top of the video, the Two-Face releases are on their way, but obviously it's been Christmas and New Year, and night models being night models, it's very delayed, but we'll be doing an unboxing on that soon, including the Black Friday special Grim Knight, who can be in a Batman Who Laughs crew for a reduced reputation cost, because they team up, if you aren't familiar with the comic where they team up. So we'll talk more about that during the unboxing, but there will be more matches to come in the future, of course. And Night Models just yesterday, I think it was, well, no, a couple of days now, revealed that there is a Court of Owls objective deck coming. I don't know why they showed that one off when the Two-Face one still isn't available to purchase. It's just, they're weird. Anyway, please do show your support if you want to see more in the future, and until then, ta-ta for now.